Hello, everyone. So, back again with the news. Let's see what's been happening. All right, there we go. Says, cops quit woke Austin, Texas in droves, plunging city in crisis. If you're a conservative, it's a hostile place. That's political issues. It's not a reason to abandon your city. It's just Texas woke capital Austin is in the midst of a policing crisis with over 300 vacancies and cops quitting because they feel disrespected, multiple sources tell the Post. They feel disrespected? Some emotional cops. What is going on? We are right there with Portland and Seattle. Should have put an apostrophe there. And San Francisco as being one of those places where if you're at all conservative or in law enforcement, it's become a hostile place. Lieutenant Brian Moon, who retired last month, told the Post of the city he protected. Okay, for 23 years. Another 77 officers are expected to retire before the end of March, on top of 264 existing vacancies, according to the Austin Police Association. Austin Police Department staffing is so bad, 911 calls are being redirected to 311 non-emergency number because they aren't enough cops to solve crimes. Do cops really solve crimes? Isn't that a detective's job? If you come home and find your home burglarized, calls like that are now going to 311, said police. When has police really solved burglaries? If there's obvious evidence, yeah, sure, but like what? Said police union president Thomas Villarreal. You're not getting a police response to many property crimes if it's not a violent crime that is currently ongoing. That is already happening. That is already a policy. This is not new. What? I mean, all they do is show up and take a report. They don't really do much. It's this tiny lady. All these, yeah. All right. Texas capital Austin is in midst of a policing crisis. They're just saying the same thing. Moody, a former watch commander, started working for Austin Police Department in 1999 and says things have dramatically changed. In 2021, the city recorded a record 88 homicides, and although that number decreased in 2022, the first 6 months of the year saw dramatic increases in the number of grapes with 179. That is a lot. That is a lot. And almost 2,000 aggravated assaults. Yeah, of course, aggravated assaults are going to be high. You could see that the city's attitude towards its police department had started to shift. And personally speaking, I didn't feel that the city was really appreciating us the way they used to. But it's saying here, before these policies changed, you guys were doing a shitty job anyways. Well, you can say they're not responsible for the crimes, but they're supposed to be a deterrent, and they're not. So was the city supposed to appreciate if you're not doing a good job? I don't understand their thinking. Sources told Post say cops are quitting because they feel disrespected. Yeah. An additional 77, I think they already talked about that. In 2020, the city council voted to defund cops by 150 million, slashing their budget by a third in the months after protests over the death of George Floyd in Minneapolis at the hands of police. Okay. Elected officials also nixed 3 cadet classes and cut 150 officers from the budget. I don't see the issue with this. Is this because cops weren't making as much money in overtime? Is that why they left? Like, they're still getting paid. They didn't say they cut their pay. They just cut the funding for the departments. Okay. Who the hell is this guy? Lieutenant Bryant Moon, who retired last month, worked for the city for 23 years, Austin Police Department. Is this you? Are you Bryant Moon? Whoa. This dude, if this dude is a cop, this guy, I do not trust. Like, just looking at his face, this dude is a scumbag. Maybe I'm profiling here, but this dude does not look like a trustworthy person. I wouldn't trust him around kids. I certainly wouldn't trust him in politics, and definitely not in a uniform. Is he running for something? What was he running for? He's trying to get elected, right? Justin Berry is currently a serving officer who was among those indicted in 2022. Is it Justin Berry? This is Justin Berry. Son of a bitch. Of course he was indicted. I knew something was wrong with this dude. Look at his face. Look at his teeth, his gums. He looks like he just got that weird ass haircut just that day to take this photo, and he took it outside of a goddamn dump. Look at him. Just sloppy. He just shaved for the first time. Probably an alcoholic. Doesn't take care of himself at all. Yeah, this dude is definitely scummy. Definitely scummy. All right. Who's been indicted in 2022? Last year, the local district attorney announced the indictment of 19 police officers accused of using excessive force against protesters in 2020 protest. It almost felt like there was a target, like the district attorney office and the city was looking for an opportunity to do something to you, to prosecute you or fire you, no matter if you did it right or did it wrong. What do you mean? Of course it matters if you did it right or you did it wrong. They probably indicted you for doing it wrong. What does that statement even mean? Is that what he said? Is that what he justified his use of excessive force? I mean, criminals could use the same wording against you. It felt like there's almost a target on you. They could use the same thing against the cops. It'd be like there's almost a target on you. This freaking guy, man. In 2021, Austin chose to refund the cops after it was told it would face losing its ability to raise taxes or annex land under a state law that was enacted to deter cities from taking money away from law enforcement. Okay, so the city was forced to refund the cops, but yet they still left. Is this photoshopped? He looks even worse here. What kind of drugs is this guy on? Oh my God, he looks creepy. Indicted cop Justin Berry makes GOP runoff for Texas House seat. I would not vote for this guy. Like, just looking at his face. Austin police should have about 2,000 officers for a city its size, but instead of only authorized to have 1,825, although its currently staffing levels are far below the police union claim. Who wants to work for someone that belittles you and demonizes you? Justin Berry said. But you were indicted, guy. You used excessive force. Of course they're going to belittle and demonize you. You make them look bad. What the fuck is wrong with this dude? This is not taking accountability. This guy is even a bigger piece of shit than he looks. An officer who was among those who indicted told the Post. Potentially piling on the progressive policies, city voters will get to decide if they want to create a police accountability office later this year. They shouldn't need a goddamn office for this guy to take accountability. Mayor Kirk Watson has previously admitted the city has unacceptable long waits for police in previous statement to the Post. Watson did not respond to a request for comment on the upcoming cop retirements. Of course, they have unacceptable long waits. These cops are being bitches. They're leaving because they felt disrespected. Being held accountable for using excessive force is disrespected. Just don't use excessive force. Our officers work hard every day to provide a safer environment with the resources we have at hand. We will continue strategizing about providing safety to the community and with other tasks ranging from patrol to investigations. This is weird, man. You'd think people would at least give a shit about their city. You know, even if you don't like the politics, like give a shit about your city. Your pay wasn't affected. Maybe there are new policies you don't like, but this seems like a union thing. Like the police are trying to strong arm the city, and that shouldn't be how it goes. There should be a system of checks and balances, and the police shouldn't have that kind of power to freaking do stuff like that. So they're better off just having them leave and then just create a whole new police force that does not feel like they're goddamn dictators. Austin Mayor Kirk Watson has previously admitted the city was homicide comes out or shooting comes out. That's what's going to tie up every officer available. Yo, these guys, man, this thing seems very, very goddamn scummy. The way they're sort of like, we don't like how things are going, so now we're gonna leave and let the crime rate skyrocket, and then now that your hands are tied and you have no other choice, then you're gonna welcome us back and we're gonna ask for extra. It seems like the police are acting like a gang a little bit. A recent night of chaos caused by street racers set an example of what residents can expect. According to Moon, the drivers shut down intersections, driving dangerously and even setting people on fire. Setting people on fire? What the fuck? Vandals attacked a cop cruiser, breaking windows and injuring one officer. The first officer to respond waited over 22 minutes for backup to show up because no officers were available. Yeah. Yeah, because those officers left. What are you? Who is he complaining to? Who are these people complaining to? The cops chose to leave on their own. So why are you highlighting the problem caused by the cops? Is your argument that the policies are unfair? Then highlight the problems with the policies. But no, you're highlighting the problems caused by the cops leaving, but yet it's not the cops' fault. I don't understand what are you trying to get at here. We've pretty much conceded that we're not going to show up anymore on certain calls. Eventually, it's going to get to the point where it's so bad, everyone's going to realize that something has to be done. Like getting new cops. That is the problem here. It's not the policies. The policies are probably a problem, but you're not highlighting that. You're not highlighting how they're a problem. You're not spelling out the policies here. You're talking about the problems caused by the cops. So who's the problem? Is it the cops or is it the policymakers? No, man. I don't know. I mean, I would like to take the side of the cops, but what reason have they given me? They just said they felt disrespected, so they're going to leave. They tried to defund the police, but it didn't take. So they got the money. But the disrespect of it, their honor and ego just couldn't take it. Anyways, till next time.